All right. Rock and roll. Chop wood, make fire, carry water, practice yoga, repeat. This is the life of a householder. And, you know, this was a term I learned when I first started yoga, and I was at a Iyengar-based studio. And that was a term he used a lot, like yoga for householders. You know, yoga in India was always gifted to those, you know, people who had the time to just be in their practice, be in their meditation. And he brought yoga to the householders, to us folks, you know, maintaining your house, your jobs, your families, all of that stuff. So I don't know why I shared that. There we go. Yoga for householders. Welcome to your practice. Good. Take your comfortable seat. Bring your hands together at your heart. Inhale and lengthen nice and tall. Lift your heart. Exhale. Keep that lift. Bow your chin. Release your breath. Close your eyes. And in this meditative position, starting to bring your attention inwards. Whatever householder duties you were doing before you got here, just let that all release. As you settle into your breath, let your body start to, you know, assume this position. And we make little movements all on its own. Welcome yourself to your practice. And even tell yourself, now is time for yoga. Good. And then inhale once again, lift your chin. Exhale this breath completely. And we'll take a full inhale in, hold it at the top, pause. Release this breath completely. Chant Om together 3 times. Inhale. Releasing your hands to your thighs, lift your chin and open your eyes. Okay. All right, we're going to start on your back, and I'm going to have my feet at the wall. So this is, you know, use your wall. If you don't have a wall, like I said, you're going to be okay. And take a blanket for behind your head, and if you like a support for underneath your torso, then put that there as well. And then I'll bring a block and a strap nearby. Okay. So to get your feet to the wall, guys, you kind of start with your knees bent. So you're sitting up, because when you start to lie down, the legs will straighten. So you just find that place where you feel, you know, the heels pressing in, all 4 corners of your feet into the wall. And then once you've found that, bend your knees. Now we're just going to rest here. So when we bend the knees, hopefully you feel your full length of your back on the floor. Arms can go out to the side or rest on your torso. And just receive the support of the earth for a few breaths once you get here. Just allowing yourself to rest into the earth. If you can hear it, I didn't. There we go. It's not my mother, just so you know. Okay. Good. All right, and then stay as you are. Let's just bring the right knee into the chest. We'll keep the left leg bent. And we'll just rock this in and out a few times. Just opening up the hip crease and the low back. Settle into your breath. Good. And then hugging this knee in a comfortable way that the shoulders can rest. And then stay here or extend the left leg. Hopefully Still in contact with the wall really nicely. Good. And then just finding in the left leg, the press out from the inner thigh all the way to the middle arch. Just find that for a moment. And if you can add that into the right leg, great. Good. Okay. And then we'll rebend the left leg, left foot to the floor. Stretch your right leg up to the sky. And if you need your strap, grab it. Otherwise, place your fingers behind the belly of the thigh, interlace. And just be here for a few moments. Let, if you need to move your leg a little bit, just to kind of wake it up, whatever you need to do here, just be here. Okay, so we're just going to go the opposite way a little bit. So you know where the inner arch of your foot is, and just imagine you can pull down from the inner arch to the inner hip. And just feel with whatever that is. Okay, and stay with that action, but soften your tush, your back, your breath, your smile. And now push out from the inner thigh to the inner foot. And the left leg might just do that too at the same time. And just feel what's happening in the back of your thigh. See if you have a little bit more movement to take the right hip, away from your head a little bit. And just be there with that intentional action. And then soften, rebend the right leg. Open your arms out to the side, heel toe your feet. Inhale and exhale, drop your knees to the right. We're just going to stay here for a full breath in and out. Okay, and then inhale and lift your knees back up. Stay here. You inhale, and on your exhale, both knees to the left. We'll just pause here, just breathing and dropping in. The hip is getting a little stretch here. Good, okay. And then inhale, bring the knees up. Maybe a windshield wiper side to side just to move everything around. And then we'll do the second side. We'll come back, feet on the floor. Good. Bring the left knee into your chest. Change the interlace of your fingers. And start to rock this knee in and out. Still a very loving way. Feeling your breath. Any tension in the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. Good. And then just hug this knee in. We'll extend the right leg. Hopefully still at the wall. I am not. Good. Okay. Soften everything. Like exhale, let the shoulders drop, belly drop. And then put your mind into the inner thigh of your left leg and start to push out into the inner foot. And just feel what happens for you. Maybe as you press out through the inner leg to the inner foot, you can also feel that now move into the heel a little more. Good. Take one more breath. And then soften that, bend the right leg. We'll extend this left leg up to the sky, and we'll give you a few moments just to, warm it up if you need to bend, straighten, whatever you need to do. Just wake it up. And then find that lengthening of your leg, even if your knee still stays bent. And we're going to just look at you have a nice view of your inner arch. Imagine you can pull down from the inner arch through the inseam of this left leg. And just stay with that action for a few moments. You might feel it almost spread out to the outer hip. You might not. Okay, and now we're going to push from the inseam of the leg up through that inner arch. The right leg might be doing it too, and you might feel the right foot ground a little bit more. And then keeping that action and just softening the outer left hip as if you're almost wrapping it to the inner hip. Okay, don't overthink too much. So smile, Soften the glutes. Good. Okay, and then release your hands, bend the leg, foot to the floor, arms open out to the side, heel toe your feet right together. So just take a nice in-breath. And as you breathe out, drop these knees over to the right. Make any adjustments you need for your own wellness. So the knees are lower than the hips. And if they come apart or you need to step that left foot back, that's fine. Okay, I'm just going to rock the hips a little bit. So I can think of the left hip moving forward and back. Just an opening. Good. Okay, and then we'll settle in. I'm going to flex the feet slightly. If I can soften this outer left hip a little bit. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Soften the outer left waist. And then on your inhalation, bring the knees back up. Pause for a moment, readjust your hips. If you need windshield wiper or whatever you need, just to bring yourself back onto your back. Do that. And then we'll heel toe the feet together, knees together. And as you exhale, drop these knees over to the left. And then stay here. Oh, I have a block here. Just one underneath the knee. If that feels good for you, do it. And then once you're here, make any adjustments. And we'll start to just roll this right hip forward and back, just in a really loving way. So you're in these places that you can actually feel things being opened and released. Okay, I'm just going to drop in. Add a little flexion to the feet. Think of the inner arches as pushing away if you can. Soften everything else, even the right side of your waist a little bit. Soften. And one more breath. And on your next inhalation, bring the knees back up. Realign. Okay, I'm going to bring both knees into the chest. And just to open the back, just rock the knees in and out a few times. And you might put your hands on your kneecaps as the knees move away and then pull them in. Good. Okay, so this pose is child's pose on your back, the Badaknasana, where we just let the thighs drop in towards the chest. Interlace your fingers and place them over these legs somewhere. Soften around this shape as best as you can. And so here is where we really want the breath to be the main focus. But maybe there's other things that are talking to you that need your attention, so pay attention. And if you can feel yourself spreading out a little bit, that would be good. One more moment. And we're going to open the arms out to the side, and we're just going to rock these knees side to side a few times. So once the arms come out, you can put the palms down if you like. I'm just going to rock the knees, and they might not go all the way to the floor. You might just go a little bit. Just feel like you're massaging your back. And then we're going to turn this into a little bit of a circling. So you might straighten your legs a little bit more. Just be in this feeling of this circling in a way that feels really nourishing. And then reverse. And circle in the opposite way. And any way that feels good. Just take one more circle. Hug the knees into your chest. I'm coming back to twist, and this time I'm going to take the knees over from here. Open your arms out to the side. Inhale. And as you exhale, take these knees over to the right. And adjust for yourself what you need. The knees high, so maybe they're even touching the right arm. Is going to open up the back in a different place. But if that is not your place today, just lower the knees to wherever they need to be. Do nothing here but breathe. Soften through the left side. If your head turns gently to the left, Nice. Softening through the left shoulder a little bit more. Okay, from here, guys, I'm going to take this left arm up and alongside the ear. I'm going to stretch it away from me, get a little longer through the left side, and then soften into that. Just a few more breaths. You're using the breath to open, to irrigate, to nourish you and nurture you. Good, one more breath. Release that breath completely. As you inhale, bring that left arm back out. And as you exhale, lift these knees back up. And then take a moment here. You might hug your knees in. You might put your feet on the floor. Readjust yourself. Just be in this center line for a moment. Just feel, feel, feel. And then we'll open the arms out. Take a full inhale, and on the exhalation, bring the knees over to the left. Wherever they're going to go, maybe they go up high towards the left arm, and maybe not. And then just be here in the twist, and turn your head to the right just gently, nothing too aggressive, so that the breath can move, fill, nourish, nurture, all these incredible things that happen when we pay attention to our breath. Good. So just really irrigating this right side, softening the right shoulder a little more, your jaw a little more. And now taking that right arm up and alongside your ear, stretching it away from you a little bit. We create more space. Breathing. Good. Okay. And then we'll take that arm back out. Inhale or exhale, whichever one, to bring the knees back up. I'm going to hug these knees in, and I'm going to start to rock and roll here. If you want windshield wiper, that's totally good too. Just moving yourself in some way to nourish your back body. And we're going to stay on the back though, so I'm just going to do one more. And then we'll come back onto your back. Okay, I'm just going to realign my feet to the wall. And then once you've done that, then bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. Let's grab your block. Just one block. And we're all going to go baby side of the block underneath the sacrum. And okay, so once you have that, if you want to stretch your legs out here and they still hit the wall, hopefully, if not, just take a moment to readjust. That's fine. You could just keep them bent too. We're just going to be here. I'm opening my arms out to the side. See how that is? Okay, so knees bent or legs straight, just on your own. You don't need to hold it the whole time, but just feel I'm pushing out from the inner legs to the inner arches. So you become aware of what's happening. You might even feel like the outer hips are just wrapping to the inner thighs a little bit. And that might be a really big explanation, but just feel and let it soften as you need. And if you want to take your arms over your head for a big extension here, then that's fine too. You don't need to engage the inner thighs the whole time, just maybe even just as you inhale, just feel what's happening. Yoga as entryway to knowing ourselves more deeply, to discovering these deep interconnections of how the body is created to support itself. And then we have all of our daily habits, postural habits that just come in and take over. Start to rest into this shape, legs extended or knees bent, just soften into this. So that we're letting the mid-belly drop, and you might feel a stretch happening in the fronts of your hip flexors, but any place else you feel it is, even if I don't say it, it's valid and it's true. Let's take one more breath. Okay, I'm going to bend the left leg, left foot to the floor, bring the right knee into your chest. Use your strap around the front of the shin or your hands or behind the thighs. It's all fine. Just feel this. And then I'm going to press out through the inner thighs. I'm not going to, like, if I say like 100% of pushing out, this is maybe like 50. Just enough to support this. Soften your shoulders. Extend the left leg if so be. And then just find that inner line of the legs. And soften that right hip, the outer hip a little bit more to the inner of the left thigh. And then you can stay in the shape, but release all the effort and just feel what happens when you let all that effort go. Okay, we're going to stretch the right leg up. And if you need to bend the left leg, of course, right? Okay, stretch the right leg up, find that place behind your thigh, and if you bend the left leg, it's going to be a little bit less intense. Feel for yourself here. And just breathe, press the thigh into the hands. If you can start to bring that inner leg action in, do that, but don't worry about it too much. This might just be a big stretch for you. So just smile and be content. Okay, I'm going to release the hands, put them on the floor anywhere. Lift the left leg up to meet the right. So you have both legs up, if that's okay. Hopefully that's okay. And just be there for a moment. Okay. Now we've already opened the right leg. And just put your mind in the right leg. Push out through the inseam of the leg. Start to lower that leg down. If it needs to bend, that's fine. Otherwise, just keep going. And then once you get it down, maybe you can find the wall. And then we'll immediately bend the left knee. Opposite, interlace your fingers or move your strap over. And we'll just do the work on this side. So softening your back, mid back. Pressing out, inseam of the legs. You know, even if you're not getting that, you're waking yourself up to what's possible. Good. Okay, one more breath. Working the right inseam of the leg as well, about 50%. Okay, now we'll stretch the left leg up, opposite, interlace your fingers behind the thigh. Find whatever you need to be content here. Good. And then just finding that inseam of the leg. Softening of the outer hip. Okay, and if you have your right foot against the wall, if you press out through the inseam of the right leg, so that foot becomes a little more anchored, you might notice the left leg starts to relax a little bit more into this. Okay, release your hands someplace, lift that right leg up, both legs up. Pause here. Okay, soften your shoulders. It should be on the ground nicely. Now put your mind in the left leg, push out through the inseam of the left leg, and start to lower that down to the floor. And keep pushing through the inseam of the leg. And you'll just feel what that does for you. Until you find the wall. And I'm just going to be here in this shape, pushing out through the inseam of both legs. Good. And then we'll lower the right leg any way you want to do that. I'm going to take it straight and down. And then once they're down, we're just going to rest here on the block. One more moment, knees bent, legs straight. Working the inseam of the legs, and I can really feel the hip, the outer hip starting to wrap around the front. Okay, I'm bending my knees. If your knees are bent already, that's fine. Lift your hips up, take the block out, lower all the way down. Good. Oh, it should feel so good. And then from here, bring your knees in, or windshield wiper if that's a better choice for your back. I'm just going to rock these knees in and out. Good. Okay. Let's egg beat. We'll take the arms out to the side. Just find your legs up and start to egg beat a little bit. And we're just using this here to really open the back, the outer hips, the inner hips. Let your feet move a little bit. So let your hands be super relaxed, whatever that means. And then reverse this and egg beat the opposite way. Good. All right, and then set your feet on the floor. I'm going to drop the knees out for Badaknasana. So maybe you need to really engage your soles of your feet so the knees lift up so you feel a little happier here. Okay, take your hands, find your hip crease, and you're going to take the heel of your hand, my friends. So the fingers are all together like a little chop, and I'm just going to chop them into the hip crease and push the hips as if I want to push them out to the knees. You might use your whole palm and just push from the hip crease, tops of the thighs, pushing down and out towards the knees. And just one more. Good, okay. And then bring your knees back up. Let's take basic resting pose. So heel toe your feet nice and wide, drop the knees in. Take your hands, rest them on your tummy somewhere. Let the jaw go. No effort here, just breathe and rest into the floor. Good, one more breath. Good, okay, open your arms out to the side. Separate your knees. Inhale. As you exhale, drop both knees over to the right. Now take your left arm, circle it over your head and all the way around to the right side. And once your hands come down, just press yourself up to sitting-ish for a moment. Walk your hands to a place that you can turn to the left. So this is a twist. You're just taking this twist. Okay, what happens if you push out through the inner legs to the inner arch? All right, and then soften your legs. Which hand is this? Left hand stays on the floor, right arm comes underneath. Just gonna roll back down onto your back. Find your place here, readjust. We're gonna do the second side. We'll drop both knees over to the left. And now the right arm's gonna circle over your head all the way to the left. Turn your chest. Hands come, press yourself up, and then walk your hands to the right. Turn to look over your left shoulder. See what happens if you engage the inner legs. Good. Okay, so right hand stays on the floor, left arm underneath the right arm. Come back onto your back in a very nice, loving way. Readjust. Good, let's do that one more time. So exhale, knees over to the right. Circle the left arm over your head. Lift your chest, your head. Come into the twist. And take a moment. See if you can find that action. You might even soften that outer hip a little bit. Again, one more breath. And then left hand stays down, right arm underneath. Back onto your back. Realign. As you exhale, knees to the left, sweep that right arm up, and over your head, and bring yourself back upright. Walk your hands out, turn, engage your legs, your feet. And then from here, we're going to stay upright. So we're not coming back down. Just bring yourself into sitting for a moment. Just feel like that. Okay, so here we're going to use the wall. I'm just going to move this painting. You're going to lie down again, so don't stand up. Everything is mobile in this house. Okay. All right, so I'm going to come a little closer to the wall this time, and you might bring your blanket down for your head. So we're going to set up like we're sitting in a chair. Okay, so set up, feet to the wall, and to, feel that your knees are over your hips as best as you can. Good. All right, pause here. Just feel, let yourself settle in. Cute. Okay, good. So once you're here, I'm pretty sure I'm going to say this for everybody. I know I just did this. This is just to turn your heels out a little bit more. And as I do that, and also look at your feet and make sure that they're even. You might have one foot a little higher, a little lower than the other. So by turning the heels out, the outer edges of the feet are more parallel to each other, and the inner edges kind of make a slice of pizza. Okay, feet are hip distance apart. Start to push from the inner thighs to the inner arch. You might even lift your toes up away from the wall. And just be there with that action. You might feel the sacrum pressing into the floor. And on your next exhale, keep the shape, but just soften all that effort. Okay, so we're going to lift the hips. That's what's going to happen. And if you are taking care of your back, you could just you don't want to lift your hips up. You could put a block underneath your hips and just hang out. Otherwise, maybe bring your arms a little bit closer to your body, turn your palms down, anchor your upper shoulders, broaden the front of your chest, as if it's a smile from the collarbones out to the outer shoulders. Soften your belly. And then as you inhale, press the inseam of the legs. Start to lift your hips. And some of you might get your hips up enough you can put your hands underneath the sacrum. Walk your feet up a little higher. Don't turn your head. I know you're like, oh, wait, am I doing it? Don't turn your head. You might walk your upper arms closer towards each other. And really pressing, the inseam of your leg to the inner arch. You can take the toes away. One more breath. And then lower yourself down very nicely. Come all the way down. And this time as you come down, just straighten your legs so the heels are at the wall. Okay, just be here for a moment. Legs are straight. Whole back, sacrum, everything on the floor. So if you're on a block, just take it out. And then I'm going to press the inseam of the legs to the inner arches, and I can actually see my feet, what they're doing. Maybe you're going to notice the outer edges are going to turn more towards the outside of the knees. Good. Okay, one more breath. And then rest. Just stay as you are with the legs on the wall. Rest. So release all the effort. Okay, now just put your mind in your left leg. Press from the inseam to the inner arch. Now really anchor that heel to the wall and start to take this right leg away from the wall. And it might go a little bit, it might go a lot. You might start to feel something in your hip crease. So if you need to mush it out, do that. Press out through the inseam of the right leg. Soften your shoulders, my friends. One more breath. And then release that leg to the wall. Rest, if that means letting your feet flop out or move your feet, in and out, whatever you need to do. Okay, now put your mind in the right leg and push out through the inseam. Anchor the heel strongly to the wall and start to take the left leg away. Keep pressing inseam of the left leg. Soften that outer hip. If you feel a Charlie horse or something coming on, we're waking stuff up. Rub it out or back out or come out. Engage the inseam of the legs. It's going to strengthen the outer hips. And exhale, release. Good. And then just be here for a moment or two with the legs up. Good. Okay. Rebend your legs so they're at the wall. feet at the wall. And this time, guys, I'm gonna lift the hip and then I'm gonna take one leg away from the wall, extend to the center. So you could do that with the block underneath you as well, if you prefer that. Okay, bring your arms down, not exactly by your sides, maybe a little bit out. Palms face down, spread the fingers. Anchor the upper shoulders, upper arms. Lift your chest, place the chest back down. So you're almost opening the front of the chest here. Shoulders are to the floor. And then exhale, drop the belly, relax. And as you inhale, start to engage inseam of the legs. Lift your hips. Okay, I lift my head, readjust. I'm going to take the hands underneath the sacrum again, walk the feet up the wall, and then I'll walk these upper arms a little closer together. Okay, so be wherever you are here. If you feel you're in a place where the left leg can really be grounded, left foot to the wall, bring the right knee into your chest and extend the right leg over your head. Push out through the inseam of both legs. Don't turn your head. If you need to see something, then just come out. We want to protect our little necks. One more breath. And then lower yourself down and just come back to that sitting in a chair at the wall, resting position. So no effort, you're just supported by the wall and the floor. Feel. And then we'll do the second side. So create the space, arms down. Anchor your upper shoulders, spread your fingers, anchor the upper arms, and soften into the space, let the belly drop. And inhale, start to push inseam into the feet, lift up, find your place, maybe hands come to the sacrum, lift up, pushing inseam, good. Okay, and then really feel the right foot connected. Bring this left knee in, extend the left leg over your head, and just extend through both inner legs. Good. Good. Breathe and be. And then come on out. Once you come down, straighten your legs, heels at the wall, but the feet can just flop. Just breathe. Good. One more breath. Okay. Bring yourself back into sitting in a chair. If you have a block underneath, you take it out. You could also put a blanket underneath your tush if you need that. And we're going to bring the feet right together. I think we're going to come in differently. Let's straighten the legs, but the legs are right together. And then we're going to keep the right leg where it is and bend the left knee. Put this left foot across the right thigh or shin, whatever you need to keep that hip happy. So we're almost in like pigeon a little bit here. I'm going to just find that inseam of the leg. Maybe the right leg is going to be more accessible. Really anchor that right heel. And then see, can you soften, your tailbone down? Just be here. Okay, now I'm going to start to bend that right leg. So take the sole of the foot to the wall and start to bend. And I'm just looking to open this left hip. So just be here. Okay, you might come right into like that right leg might be totally bent. I'm going to push out through the inseam of the legs and just feel how that affects this pose. Okay, well, I feel I'm going to lift up here. So I'm going to bring the arms down, spread the fingers, plant it, plant the chest, plant the shoulders, and then start to push the foot down and just lift. See what happens. Good. And then lower down. And once you get all the way down, we'll just straighten the legs again. Heels at the wall, but the feet can flop. If you feel a lot in your hip crease, just maybe turn the feet in and out a few times. Good. Okay. And then we'll do the second side. So bring the legs right together. This time, left leg stays still and the right ankle crosses over this left leg anywhere that you need. And then just feel this, start to engage those inner thighs to the inner arches, to the inner heel. be here. Okay, and then we'll start to bend that left leg. You might not want to bend it. That's okay. If you're feeling a lot with the legs straight, that's great. And then once we get here, just keeping the hips even on the floor, not letting the right hip lift. That's how you kind of find your place. Now I'm going to engage the inner thighs, relax everything else, and then either stay here, if this is your place, stay here, or set the arms, set the shoulders, push into that left foot and just lift. And breathe, enjoy, and release. And then just relax. So I'm going to stretch the legs up. If you need to put the feet on the floor, that's fine. Okay, and then bring your knees into your chest, hug them in. All right, I'm going to roll to the right, and then press yourself up. Just take a moment. I'm just going to integrate all of that into, don't have that much time, but just going to do standing poses, just really quick. We'll do an Ardha Chandrasana. And, okay, maybe a supported warrior 3. So I'm going to bring the blocks in, 2 blocks. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to just step that right foot forward, and I want to put the left foot at the wall with the toes pointing down. So walk your blocks, walk your foot, just feel, I'm looking at my left heel, I'm going to turn it out. So the blocks are maybe forward of your shoulders or right underneath. So you've done this shape so many times. So just feel like once I'm here, so I'm lifting my head, just taking the gaze forward. Just push out through the inseam of your legs. Feel what this is for a moment. Now I'm going to push from the outer hips down to the outer feet. Okay. Right hand's going to stay on the block. Left hand might too. Now I'm going to turn the right toes out. So now they're pointing to the left. I'm really going to engage that press to the inner leg, maybe the outer leg, and maybe the left hand's going to come on your hip. You're just going to open and really use your legs here, guys. And you might notice the more you can engage the legs, the more the left side lifts. Left arm can lift in the air if you like. Good. Okay. And then we'll release. Hands to the blocks. Just step down. Let's take a moment in a forward fold here. You can keep your hands on the blocks. You might bend your knees. Take your tush back. Let's keep your weight in your feet. If you want to grab hold of opposite elbows and just hang for a moment or two. Good. Okay, and then we'll do the second side. So you take your hands to the blocks and just take a moment to, okay, where's my left foot gonna go? Right foot at the wall. Walk it up, walk it down. See if you can get that baby toe edge of the foot to be in line and the toes are pointing down. If you need to bend your knees, that's okay. And then once you're here, just really put everything into action. Push from your hips, inner hips, outer hips, into the legs. Lift your head, your heart a little bit. Breathe. Good. Okay. Left hand block is going to come forward a little bit. And turn this right foot to face out. You can keep that right hand on the block because it's really about the legs. But you might feel, the more you get this right hand to the hip, the more the twist is going to come in. So don't let the left leg go to sleep. Push from your hips. Nice and strong. Be strong, get stronger. And then release. Set your foot down and just come back into your version of forward fold here. That might, whatever it is. You want to grab opposite elbows and hang, great. Want to stay on your blocks, that's fine. Hands to the floor, just breathe in this upside down. Good. Okay, and take the hands to the blocks. All right, last one. I'm not going to use the wall for this. Just gonna step the right foot forward, maybe between the blocks, and the left leg back, so that both feet are on the floor. Just automatically, I walk my right foot out a little bit, create some space, and feel into your left heel. If you turn that left heel out, you're gonna feel the hip come forward. If you turn that heel towards the right, the hip, the hip to heel connection, just find that. And now just be here, even if your knees are bent. Push into the inner arches. And then push into the outer edges of your feet. Breathe. See if that left hip needs to drop a little bit. One more breath. Good. And then just step that right foot back. Take the left foot forward, just change. And take a moment to feel your stance. So I automatically walk the left foot out, just create space for the hips. Now I look at my right heel. Can I turn it out? Maybe yes, maybe no. And then place the blocks wherever you need them to be. Push into your feet with all this awakened knowledge. You guys have heard me say your legs are an extension of your guts. That's the whole circumference of the leg. Be here, breathe, anchor into the edges of your feet from your hips. Okay, and then bring your feet someplace here and we'll drop into forward fold again last time. Whatever you want to do, let it be. Breathe and be. Good. Okay. I'm just going to move these blocks away. Walk yourself in front of your mat. We're just coming to sit down. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to heel toe my feet, comfortable distance, lower, 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 lower. Maybe a squat, maybe not. And then you're going to come onto your back for happy baby. So take your time and put your props in. And if you wanted like a prop for your head or your hips, you can also put your accoutrements for Shavasana on before you come to lie down. If you like, your awakened legs. Okay, and we'll just come onto your back for happy baby. Once you get here, let's be happy babies. And happy baby can be just holding onto the knees nice and wide or outer edges of your feet. Oh, okay. Sorry, the dog just crawled onto my tummy and didn't expect that. All right. And then rocking side to side. And as you rock, maybe one leg extends, one leg comes into a half Badaknasana. Just feel, let the jaw go. Good. And then we'll bring the soles of the feet together. I'm going to interlace the fingers, baby toe edge of the feet. And we'll just do a little Suzanne Summers thigh master. So press the knees away and then bring them in. Just do that a few times. Like a little massage for your hips, hopefully. Good. Okay, let's go happy baby again. Now I'm going to open the legs out wide. And you might put your hands underneath your thighs to hold them. And you might put your hands on top of your thighs, which is going to ground them, but also give you a little more. Of course, I'm going to add that inner stretch. When I'm softening. If you want to drive the bus a little bit here, just move your legs like your hips are a big steering wheel. Let's do that a few times. Good. And then we'll bring the legs together, knees into your chest. Rest here in child's pose on your back. So I've interlaced the fingers, but if it's better for you to just let the knees drop out to their respective sides, that's fine. One more breath. Good. And then soles of the feet to the floor. And just take a twist. So if you like, you have your blocks nearby. If you like a support in your twist, just set your blocks on either side. Good. Okay, I'm going to take a deeper twist as a way of just closing out this practice. Welcome to do any twist you like. I'm going to bring the soles, the feet, not the soles, the feet right together. Keep the right leg down, lift the left leg, cross left knee over right knee, arms open to the side. Lift your hips up, shift them over to the left, put them down, knees to the right. And if you want to move in shape, that's fine. Just rest. And take your left arm over your head if you want a little bit of more opening. Just let it be the shape of the pose now, doing the work for you. You know, if you crossed, you might notice, oh, my hips feel super open. I did that. Right? You did that. One more breath. And then we'll bring ourselves back onto the back, readjust, change the cross of the legs, and then lift your hips up, shift them to the right, put them down, knees over to the left. Use your block if you like, or whenever you're in here, just drop in. Maybe the right arm wants to go over the head in some way. And the way nature nourishes us all, every living creature. Your breath nourishes every living thing within you. Good. Make your way back. Good. Okay, and then if there's anything else you feel you need, you want to put a block underneath your hips or hug the knees back in, anything, throw that in. Or let's set up for Shavasana. And take a bolster for underneath the calves, and I'll take my 2 blocks here for my feet, the blanket on top, pretty much in the line here. You don't have to do this. You could set up any way you like. I'm put on my socks. With a heating pad. That in. Good. Okay, so set up very nicely for a restful rest, and you can cover your eyes. It's a nice way to drop in. All right, good night, everybody. Good, just let your rest be received as this opportunity to embrace everything that's been opened. Any new pathways that we've carved in. Staying as you are. Just for these few moments that we have left here, just bringing your attention to the movement of your diaphragm. You breathe in, it moves down and opens space. And as you breathe out, it just comes back in to the center of your being. Just allowing this place to be soft and spacious, filling into the circumference of your being. Letting that awareness just move up and down through your body, feeling yourself resting, no effort. And as you begin your next inhale, just fill yourself up as much as you can. And then release that breath as much as you can. And let's do that again, or just return to normal breath and feel if you're going to come up or stay as you are. If you're ready to come out, and just let it be very gentle. Awaken yourself from head to toe, fingertips, the center of you. Taking the time. Eventually, you might stretch your arms over your head and bend the knees. And you know the route. Just honoring everything you've done that's brought you to this moment of reawakening. Almost like a rebirth. We come out of practice different than we went in. So just embracing and honoring all of that. And when you do come to sitting, just taking a few moments to just be in this sacred sit. We take the seat of the yogi, one who has practiced, breathed, awakened something. After a few breaths here, bringing your hands together, and just take your time. If I'm way ahead of you, you go at your own pace. Bow your chin. Great honoring for all that you are and all that you offer yourself and others. Feel that into your heart. Your next inhale, lift your heart, lengthen, lift your chin. Exhale this breath, come on with me. Seal this practice, or may we be blessed mantra. It is a call for peace within and without. So together, inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy. We'll seal that with one Om. Inhale. Exhaling, breathe into your palms, bow your chin, hold this, put all your prayers here, and then lift your chin, open your eyes, and offer this to yourself. And offer it out into the world and beyond. And then we'll bring that all back in. Yes. And that way we share our energy through screen. So much love, you guys. Yes. Thank you for playing yoga and spending this time. So much love. Yes, have a great rest of this wonderful, beautiful, very, very good day. And see you soon.